So we've got our LG Chem battery wired. We've got our power wires here, coming in over here. Got our fuses out because we want to check it first. That's going to be interesting. We've got our comms connected from here to here. Really important that the comms that are listed on here, the input terminals, are not exactly the same as far as how they're identified. So we have our enable and enable ground over here. And in here, we have enable plus and enable ground over here. So we need to make sure we got that right. And then we have RS485 H and L. RS485 H and L. Over here, we have BMS RS485 A and B. A is the same as H, B is the same as L. Okay? So all your directions, because there's different pieces of equipment, that can get confusing for you. In here, we have two different RS485. So it's really important that we're on the BMS RS485, not on the other RS485. All right? So now we've got those connected. We're going to turn on the breaker there, and we're going to take a look here. 9 volts. So we got a 9-volt battery over there. Is that true? No, it's not a 9-volt battery. Why didn't it come on? Well, we've got to turn it on. So the communications on this battery, as opposed to different other batteries, this one has to communicate with the inverter before it enables. So it's got electronics in here that have to turn on. We're going to go ahead and turn this unit on. We're going to let it power up. All right, the screen's going to come up. It says the comms are okay. It gives us a state of charge of the battery. Remember, this state of charge of the battery when it starts out may or may not be accurate because the battery needs to go through a cycle, so don't pay too much attention to that. It could be accurate, it might not be. All right, so we got good comms. Now, are we good here yet? Well, now we see 200 volts. That's the inverter actually applying a voltage on this circuit. We're not connected yet. We still have to ask for it to come along. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the battery on. All right. Go into here, go to battery control, battery select, LG. Okay, we got the right battery selected. That's good. These are the settings. We're not going to go do anything with the settings right now. We're going to save and send. Now we're going to wake up the battery. Okay. It said the battery woke up. Now we're going to go back up to information. See what we have. Now we still don't have anything here because remember, so you said we had 200 volts. All right, so we still have to close this in before we can get anything going on. As soon as I close this in, I hear something over there. Now the battery voltage is accurate because now the communications are happening. We have the electronics talking to one another, and now we settle in on the correct voltage, which is 392. All right, so this test we did before does help you make sure you got polarity correct. You can visually see that. So the unit sees the battery, everything's connected. We've got comms, it looks like comms okay, and we've got 91% on the battery. What you see when you start up a battery is not necessarily the state of charge, the actual state of charge of the battery. Now we're in waiting mode right now because the whole thing's going through the 5-minute waiting period. And then when we're through with that 5-minute waiting period, then we can start to program the battery and work from there.